I'm from New Orleans, baby. So when it comes to making authentic New Orleans dishes, I have more than 4 decades bringing that NOLA flavor all across the country. But here's the secret. I'm about to stun you with how easy it is to make these world renowned dishes for any gathering or event. With that said, welcome to Southern Soul Bistro NOLA, cooking with Chef Kim, or as my family calls me, Chef Kimmy. Welcome to Cooking with Chef Kim. I'm Chef Kimmy from Southern Soul Bistro NOLA. Welcome back. Today, we are cooking New Orleans style seafood gumbo. I have all of the ingredients already prepared. Let me tell you what we're going to put in that gumbo. We have some smoked turkey necks. Look at that. Yeah, fresh. We have some chicken gizzards. We're going to put those in there. You have to clean them though. Make sure you clean the front and the back. Get all the extra stuff off of there. Right here, this is smoked sausage. I just slice them and put them in the oven. I'm going to finish with the meats first. Right here is New Orleans Patton's hot sausage. Fresh hot sausage, roll them into balls, put them in the oven to remove the extra oils. Right here, we have boneless thigh meat. I prefer using thigh meat because breast meat to me kind of dry out. That thigh meat, it keeps its moisture. Right here, I bought some fresh blue crabs. I boiled them in a little seafood boil. And I boiled them and cleaned them myself. Make sure you clean your crabs. They'll come with something extra. This is okra. Yeah, I put okra in my gumbo. See this okra here? Spray a pan, brown it in the oven. Let it get all the slime out. Keep stirring in the oven until all the slime is gone. These are the other ingredients. You're going to always use some broth with your gumbo. I have here some garlic powder, some onion powder. This that New Orleans, y'all. This that Southern Soul Bistro New Orleans seafood spice right there. Y'all better get it. This is a little Creole. And this is Italian seasoning. Yes, I put Italian seasoning in my gumbo. Okay, so we have some fresh vegetables. Celery, green peppers, green onions or shallots as somebody call them. Some people call them. And this is fresh onion. Look at that garlic. That garlic always make your food taste better. This is tomato paste. Yes, we put tomato paste in our gumbo. Here is parsley flakes. And guess what else, y'all? We have some filet. Yeah, that's that gumbo filet right there. And some fresh devane shrimp. And this is everything that I put in my gumbo. Let's get to cooking. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add turkey necks to the pot. Let's go. I'm going to put these turkey necks in a pot. Ooh, look at that heat. Here's some fresh gizzards, y'all. Now, I always put the turkey necks in the gizzards in the gumbo first because it takes the longest to get tender. Let those cook maybe 20 minutes before you start adding. But since I tenderize it, I use a little unseasoned tenderizer on those pieces. It won't take long to get tender. So the next thing we're going to add is the smoked sausage. All of these items are pre-cooked, so therefore you don't have all the extra oils, you don't have the grease floating on top of your gumbo. Let me get my next product. Okay, this is that fresh chicken thigh meat. As you can see, I cut it into chunks. I cleaned it. Add that to the pot. go. And look all that meat in there. That's that New Orleans gumbo. Let's add that Patton's hot sausage. This adds some extra flavor here. That pot is filling up pretty good. Since we're filling up, the meat is filling up the pot pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and add some more of that chicken broth to the pot. We're going to add some of this pre-cooked okra to the pot. We're going to add this onion to the pot. You cannot have too much onion. You can't have too many peppers, garlic. The more fresh vegetables you have, the better it tastes. This is that fresh celery. This smells delicious already. Here's the green peppers. This ingredient is in the cookbook. You can find the cookbook on my website, which is www.southernsoulbistronola.com. Now I'm adding green onions, shallot as some may call it. Yeah. This smells delicious. Here's your garlic. That garlic is already minced. Smells fantastic. We cooking some gumbo today, baby. I'm adding the parsley. Now we're going in with those spices. This is your garlic. This is your onion powder. This is your Creole. Add the Creole. And this is that Southern Soul Bistro New Orleans, baby. We have our own spices available on our website. This is delicious. Look at the difference. Yeah, that's full of flavor right there. In here, we're gonna add fresh Italian seasoning. We're gonna let this gumbo start cooking. Next, we're gonna make a roux. Watch this roux. I love using whole black pepper, so we're gonna grind some black pepper into this pot. However much you use, it's totally up to you. This is a grinder. It is fresh. Yeah. So there's no special measurement for pepper. It depends on your palate. When you're making gumbo from scratch, the last items to go into the pot is going to be your crabs, your shrimp. If you choose to use crab meat, you can. It's totally up to you. Your filet and your tomato paste. We're cooking, baby. Southern Soul Bistro Nola is a household name. This is the new cookbook. This is the holiday edition. This is from my kitchen to your table. This cookbook has a lot of goodies in it. You're going to have food, desserts, you're going to have cocktails, and you're going to have mocktails. For those who don't drink, we got you too. I'm stirring this gumbo. Look how it's coming together. Every spoon you get has meat in it. Look at there. This gumbo is gonna cook. I normally cook gumbo for about an hour. Within that hour, all of your meat is tender. All your spices are combined. You can't go wrong. This dish is served over rice. Some people even drop potato salad in it. It's totally up to you the way you eat it. But this is that New Orleans seafood gumbo right here. Right now, we're gonna make a roux. We're gonna add that roux to the gumbo, and that's gonna give it a little thickness, gonna add texture to it. Gumbo is a soup. Some people use it. Some people eat it by itself with rice. They'll add it as a side dish to other meals. It's totally up to you. New Orleans seafood gumbo is a household name, and there's a certain way you make it to achieve that authentic taste. We're not finished yet. This is oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. This is vegetable oil that I'm adding in here. This is what we're going to use to make our roux. You want this oil to get hot. Once it starts bubbling, then we're going to add flour to it. So give it a minute to start getting extra hot, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So the oil have gotten hot. Now we're going to add flour to it. This is how you make a homemade roux. You're going to add the flour. Keep adding it. Don't overflour it. What you want to do is add a little bit at a time. Because once you add a little bit at a time and you start to stir, you'll know if you need some more flour. Let me show you. Sometimes you might need flour. If you put a little bit too much flour, you want to make a certain amount, you can go in and add a little bit more oil. Look at this consistency. I can still add a little bit more flour to it, just to thicken it up just a little bit more. See how it's getting crumbly? That's how you want it to be, just like that. Oh, we're gonna let this start browning. Look at it. You see the color? Just let it keep cooking. Let it keep on cooking. It's gonna keep on getting brown and brown and brown. When it thickens to a certain consistency and it get to the color that you prefer, it's finished. We're gonna add a little hot water to it. This is how you start off a gravy, homemade gravy. That can be, you can put it on chicken, you can put it on steaks, you can put it on chops, you can use it for whatever you like. But this is how you make a homemade roux. Just let it cook, let it brown. Even if it started to get dark brown, it's not burning, it's cooking. This is cooking with Chef Kimmy, as my family call me, of Southern Soul Bistro Nola, baby. Just like that. You see how that roux is getting brown? Just keep stirring. Let it cook. I'm going to let it get darker than that. I like my roux much darker, but you see the consistency in it? That's flour and oil, y'all. That's called a homemade roux. I got y'all. This gumbo gonna be so good. Make me want to slap myself. When you taste it, you gonna slap somebody, but I tell you to slap yourself. Don't slap nobody else. This is that New Orleans seafood gumbo. Look at the consistency in this gumbo, y'all. Look at it. Look. Yeah. Wait until I add the seafood to it. This is what it is. Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah. Just keep stirring that roux. Let it continue to get brown. We're going to come back with the finished product. We're going to commercial time right now. The recipes to our authentic New Orleans delicious foods is available in our cookbook. SouthernSoulBistroNola.com is where you can find them. We have our original cookbook, and we also have our brand new holiday edition, which is available. We have 6 spices. These spices, all of them have a certain New Orleans flavor. And guess what? They're not salty either. Go to www.southernsoulbistronola.com. Get your cookbooks and your spices today. Okay, so now look at the consistency and look at the color. This is how you want it to look. See there? You want it a little brown, a little caramel color, a little caramel, as they say. Look at that roux. Now we're going to add a little hot water to it and watch what it does. Add water and stir. This is how you make gravy, but this is the roux. We're going to use this roux as a thickening agent. Look how it's thickening. Look at it. Look at it. See the consistency? Add a little bit more water to it. Look at it. This is what you get. Yeah, that's how you make a roux. Look. You see the consistency of it? Look. Looks like peanut butter. This is homemade roux. You make this roux the same way as if you're making it as a gravy to smother chicken, smother pork chops, use it as a gravy for roast. It's totally up to you. I don't need it too loose. I'm going to turn this off. I don't need it too loose. I don't need it too thick because this is going to work as a thickening agent. Let me show you how it goes. This is what we're going to do. You see the consistency in it? Look how smooth that is. Beautiful. We're going to use this as a thickening agent just to thicken your gumbo a little bit. So you don't have to use it all. It's totally up to you how much you use. You're going to add so much and then you're going to stir. There's no certain measurement to it. It depends on how big your pot is and how thick you want your gumbo. Okay. Let's sit this right here. And we're going to stir it. And by stirring it, you can pretty much tell if you have enough roux in it. I know it's not thick enough. See how loose it still is? We're going to add a little bit more roux. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use all of this roux. You don't have to add any flavor to this because your flavor is in your pot already. So now we're going to add the tomato paste to this pot. Some people prefer to use tomato sauce, tomato paste. It's totally up to you. If you use tomato sauce, you will use more of the sauce. So I prefer to use the paste. And I'm going to use it all. This was only a small can. I'm going to use it all. And I'm stirring it a little bit. I can feel by stirring it, it is the right consistency. Let me show you. Look at it now. Look, you see the difference in the texture? Ooh, this is good. I know it's going to be good. Every spoon of this gumbo you have, you will have meat. Look at it. All right, so now I'm gonna add the crabs to the gumbo. This is the part where you add the seafood. And I'm gonna add the shrimp. Yeah. Okay, there go those fresh shrimps. You can add as many shrimps as you want. It depends on what you want in your gumbo. Hey, but it's not New Orleans gumbo if you add luncheon meat and bologna to it. That does not go in gumbo. Let me say it again. Cold cuts does not go in gumbo. Not New Orleans gumbo. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that fresh filet into that gumbo. That's the filet. Yeah. We're gonna stir this gumbo. Look at it, y'all. Stir that filet in there good. Look at them crabs. Look at the meat. Look at the shrimps. Those shrimps have to cook. We're gonna cook this for another 15 minutes or so. And it's finished. We're gonna cook some hot rice. We're gonna add this gumbo to some hot rice. This gumbo gonna be so good. Make me want to slap myself. Yeah. There it is. Look at it, y'all. Look at them crabs. Look. Oh, yeah. Every spoon will have some meat. That looks so good. Yeah. So this is the finished product. This is that New Orleans seafood gumbo. This is authentic. You can see the meat in here. You serve it over a little bit rice. Look at that smoked turkey neck. You have your gizzards and your shrimp, like it's loaded with flavor. This is how it goes. You mix it with your rice. And this is it. Let me taste a little bit of this. This gumbo is so good. Like they say in New Orleans, I'm about to eat, baby. This gumbo is so delicious, make me want to slap myself. Thank you for tuning in with us today. This is authentic New Orleans seafood gumbo. This is Southern Soul Bistro Noodle signing off. Chef Kimmy, love you, baby. See you next week.